Commander Maya Torres stared through the viewport of the Stellar Guardian, her vessel's lights reflecting off the abandoned space station's hull. After 15 years of deep space missions, she thought she'd seen everything. She was wrong. The distress signal that brought them here wasn't standard protocol, it pulsed with a rhythm that seemed to follow prime numbers, too precise to be random, too alien to be human. The station, officially designated as Deep Space Research Platform Echo 7, had been declared lost 2 decades ago. Now it hung in the void like a ghost, its solar panels spread like broken wings against the backdrop of distant stars. Life support readings? Maya asked, her dark eyes fixed on the station's main airlock. Lieutenant James Chen checked his instruments. Minimal power signatures, but there's something else. The energy patterns don't match anything in our database. Maya nodded, adjusting the collar of her midnight blue uniform. Prep the boarding team. Full containment protocols. As they approached the airlock, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The station's exterior showed signs of modification, geometric patterns etched into the hull that weren't part of any human design. The boarding team consisted of Maya, Chen, and Dr. Alexandra Volkov, their xenobiologist. Their magnetic boots clicked against the metal floor as they entered the station's main corridor. Emergency lights cast long shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. Commander, Volkov's voice crackled through the comm, these modifications, they're not random damage. They're systematic changes to the station's basic structure. Someone's been experimenting. Maya's hand rested on her pulse pistol as they moved deeper into the station. The air was thick with tension and the faint hum of ancient machinery. Their helmet lights illuminated what appeared to be a laboratory, but not like any she'd seen before. Crystal formations grew from the walls, pulsing with a soft, blue-green light. "It's beautiful," Volkov whispered, reaching out toward one of the crystals. "Don't touch anything," Maya ordered, but it was too late. As Volkov's gloved hand neared the crystal, it flared to life. The entire room illuminated, and the walls began to shift and flow like liquid metal. A figure emerged from the far wall, its form coalescing from what seemed like pure light. It stood nearly 7 feet tall, its body translucent and shifting like Aurora Borealis given form. Where a face should be, there was a complex pattern of geometric shapes that rearranged themselves continuously. 20 years, it spoke, its voice resonating directly in their minds. 20 years I have waited, watching, learning. You are not what I expected, Commander Torres. Maya stepped forward, positioning herself between the entity and her team. You know my name. I know many things about humans now. Your languages, your cultures, your conflicts, your dreams. I am Kryn, last observer of the Luminous Collective. We have been studying humanity since we discovered your species' unique characteristic. And what characteristic would that be? Maya asked, her finger still resting near her weapon's trigger. The being's form rippled with what might have been amusement. Chaos. Beautiful, unpredictable chaos. Your species creates without predetermined patterns. You imagine what has never been. My kind, we are beings of pure logic, pure pattern. We can manipulate matter, energy, even space itself. But we cannot create truly new things. We cannot dream. Lieutenant Chen's scanner beeped urgently. Commander, the energy readings are off the scale. Whatever this being is, it's not just projecting an image. It's changing the fundamental properties of space-time around us. Why reveal yourself now? Maya demanded. Why 20 years of silence? Kryn's form pulsed with darker colors. Because we are dying, Commander. My entire civilization is facing extinction. We have reached the limit of logical progression. Without the ability to imagine new possibilities, we cannot evolve. We cannot survive the coming void between galaxies. We need humanity's chaos. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. What exactly are you asking for? A partnership, Kryn responded, extending what might have been a hand, though it looked more like a cascade of starlight. I have spent 20 years learning how to communicate with humans, how to exist in a form you can comprehend. Now I need a human mind to help me understand something more fundamental, how to create something truly new. The implications were staggering. An advanced civilization that could reshape matter itself, yet couldn't imagine new possibilities without help. Maya studied the being before her, years of command experience warring with scientific curiosity. And if we refuse? Then my kind will fade into entropy, becoming one with the cosmic background radiation. But know this, what we offer in exchange is not insignificant. We can teach humanity how to manipulate the fabric of reality itself. Together, we could reshape the very nature of existence. Maya looked at her team, seeing her own mix of fear and wonder reflected in their faces. 20 years of solitude, watching humanity from afar, all leading to this moment. A choice that could change the course of two civilizations. Before we make any decisions, Maya said firmly, you're going to tell us everything. Starting with what really happened to the original crew of this station. Kryn's form brightened. Of course, Commander. That is, after all, where our story truly begins. Kryn's form shifted through shades of deep blue as the being projected a three-dimensional hologram into the center of the laboratory. The image showed the station as it had been 20 years ago, bustling with human activity. Maya and her team watched, transfixed, as the scene played out before them. The original crew made first contact with me during a routine maintenance cycle, Kryn explained. They were afraid at first. But their chief scientist, Dr. Marcus Harrison, saw the potential for collaboration. He helped me understand human consciousness while I taught him about matter manipulation. The hologram shifted, showing Dr. Harrison working alongside a younger version of Kryn, their experiments growing more complex and ambitious. The crew chose to stay, Commander. They helped establish the first bridge between our civilizations. Then where are they now? Maya demanded, noting how Kryn's luminescence dimmed slightly. They aged, Commander. Despite our advanced understanding of matter and energy, we couldn't halt the human biological process. Dr. Harrison and his team lived out their natural lives here, contributing to our understanding until the end. They chose to have their bodies converted to energy, becoming part of the station itself. Dr. Volkov gasped, her instruments detecting subtle changes in the station's walls. The crystalline structures. They're not just modifications, are they? Correct, Kryn confirmed. They contain the encoded consciousness of the original crew. Not alive in the way you understand it, but their patterns persist, their chaos preserved. Maya felt her chest tighten. These people had given their lives, their very existence, to this exchange of knowledge. Why wasn't Earth informed? Their families never knew what happened. The crew's decision. They believed Earth wasn't ready for what they'd discovered. The military applications alone could have been catastrophic. They chose isolation to protect both our species. Lieutenant Chen, who had been quietly analyzing data on his tablet, suddenly looked up. Commander, I'm detecting increased activity in Earth's orbital defense grid. They've noticed our prolonged communication silence. Maya cursed under her breath. Standard protocol dictated that any first contact scenario had to be reported immediately. She'd been so caught up in Kryn's revelations that she'd forgotten basic procedures. We need to report this, she said, already anticipating the chaos that would erupt once Earth's governments learned about Kryn's existence. But first, I need to understand exactly what you want from humanity. Kryn moved closer, the being's form creating ripples in the air around it. My civilization exists in the space between dimensions. We are beings of pure pattern, pure logic. But that purity has become our prison. We cannot conceive of anything truly new, we can only recombine existing patterns. The laboratory around them transformed, showing visions of Kryn's civilization, vast geometric structures floating in a sea of energy, beings of light communicating through mathematical equations. We discovered that human consciousness generates new patterns, truly random combinations that we could never predict. You call it imagination, creativity, intuition. For us, it is the key to survival. You want to study our minds, Dr. Volkov interjected, her scientific curiosity evident in her voice. More than study. We seek to learn how to generate new patterns ourselves. Without this ability, my civilization will stagnate and eventually dissolve into base entropy. We need a true partnership with humanity, the exchange of knowledge and capabilities. Before Maya could respond, the station's alert system blared to life. Lieutenant Chen's face paled as he checked the readings. Commander, we've got multiple Earth vessels approaching. Heavy cruiser class. They're charging weapons. Maya's mind raced through options. Earth's military would see Kryn as a potential threat, especially after learning about the station's crew. But the knowledge this being offered could revolutionize human understanding of the universe. Kryn, she said urgently, I need you to trust me. Can you make yourself and these modifications less obvious? At least temporarily. The being's form rippled with what might have been amusement. Commander, I have spent 20 years studying how to appear invisible to human detection. But hiding is not the answer. Your military leaders must understand what is at stake. The station shuddered as the first warning shots passed nearby, a clear demand for the Stellar Guardian to respond. Maya activated her comm link, knowing the next few minutes would determine the future of two civilizations. This is Commander Torres to Earth Defense Fleet. Be advised, we have made first contact with a non-hostile entity. Weapons fire risks destroying 20 years of scientific research and the key to humanity's next great leap forward. As she spoke, Kryn's form began to change, condensing into something more humanoid, more comprehensible to human eyes. I will help you explain, Commander. But they must understand, this is not a negotiation for just my species' survival. What we offer humanity is the power to reshape reality itself. The question is, are your leaders ready for such responsibility? Maya watched as the Earth vessels drew closer, their weapons still hot. Behind her, the crystalline structures pulsed with the preserved consciousness of the original crew, their sacrifice a testament to the potential of this alliance. The next few hours would either begin a new chapter in human history or end in tragedy. We're about to find out, she replied, straightening her uniform and preparing to face whatever came next. Lieutenant Chen, open a channel to Fleet Command. Dr. Volkov, prepare your preliminary findings. It's time to introduce Earth to its new neighbors, and hope we're ready for what comes next. The negotiations had lasted for 72 sleepless hours. Maya stood in what had once been the station's observation deck, now transformed by Kryn's modifications into a hybrid command center. Holographic displays showed the positions of the Earth vessels maintaining their defensive perimeter around the station, while crystalline interfaces pulsed with data streams from both human and alien sources. Admiral Helena Reyes, the highest-ranking official to board the station, studied Kryn with a mixture of wonder and suspicion. The being had maintained its more humanoid form, though its surface still rippled with waves of light that reflected its emotional states. Let me be clear, Reyes said, her silver hair catching the alien light. You're proposing a direct exchange of consciousness between our species. That's going to be a hard sell to the Security Council. Not an exchange, Kryn corrected, geometric patterns shifting across its surface. A synthesis. We have learned that direct neural interface with human minds creates new patterns we could never generate alone. But the process also expands human consciousness, allowing access to our understanding of matter and energy. Maya stepped forward, knowing she needed to advocate for this partnership. Admiral, I've seen what they can do. The technological applications alone could solve our energy crisis, revolutionize space travel, even help us terraform hostile planets. Or give us weapons beyond imagination, Reyes countered. Commander Torres, you're asking us to trust an alien species that hid on our station for 20 years, experimenting on our people. Krin's form darkened. Your people chose to stay, to learn. Just as Commander Torres and her team are choosing now. Show them, Maya. Maya nodded, touching the small crystal embedded in her temple, a modification she'd agreed to during the negotiations. The observation deck transformed around them, showing not just the physical space, but the underlying patterns of reality itself. Energy flows became visible, quantum probabilities danced like aurora, and the very fabric of spacetime revealed its intricate weave. This is how they see our universe, Admiral, Maya explained, her voice filled with awe. And this is just the beginning. The original crew's consciousness patterns are still accessible through the station's crystal matrix. 20 years of human imagination combined with their understanding of cosmic forces. Dr. Volkov, who had been quietly analyzing data nearby, suddenly straightened. Commander, Admiral, you need to see this. The station's sensors are picking up something approaching. Something big. The holographic displays shifted, showing a massive disturbance in spacetime heading toward their position. Krin's form pulsed with recognition and what Maya had learned to interpret as concern. The Void Seekers, Krin said, its voice resonating with new harmonics. They are the radical faction of my species, those who believe we should take human consciousness by force rather than seek partnership. They have followed my signal here. Admiral Reyes's hand moved to her weapon. You led them to us. No, Krin's form expanded, showing complex mathematical patterns that Maya now understood represented extreme agitation. They seek to harvest human minds, to strip away the physical form and absorb the chaos patterns directly. They do not understand that it is the integration of physical experience and consciousness that creates the patterns we need. The station's sensors blared as the disturbance grew closer. Through her enhanced perception, Maya could see reality itself beginning to warp around them. How long do we have? Minutes, Krin replied. They will attempt to breach the dimensional barriers near the station. Your weapons will be useless against them. Admiral Reyes activated her command link. All vessels, battle stations. Prepare for hostile contact. She turned to Krin. I hope you have a better option than our useless weapons. We do, Maya interjected, her mind racing with possibilities that her new connection to Krin's knowledge made possible. The station's crystal matrix, it's not just storing consciousness patterns, it's generating new ones through the interaction of human and luminous thought structures. If we can amplify that effect. Krin's form brightened with understanding. Yes. We could create a pattern so chaotic, so fundamentally unpredictable, that it would disrupt their dimensional tunneling. But it would require more human minds linked to the system. Out of the question, Reyes snapped. I'm not sacrificing my crew to become part of your crystal collection. No sacrifice required, Dr. Volkov stepped forward, already reaching for one of the interface crystals. The connection can be temporary, and I volunteer. Maya watched the spacetime distortions growing stronger. The Void Seekers were nearly there, and with them came a choice that would affect both species. She could feel Krin's fear, not of death, but of the destruction of everything they had worked to build. Admiral, Maya said, her voice firm. 20 years ago, the original crew made a choice to trust Krin, to work towards something greater than our individual species. Now we have minutes to decide if we follow their example or let fear destroy our chance at a true partnership. Reyes looked at the approaching disturbance, then at the determined faces of Maya's crew. With a resigned nod, she reached for a crystal. God help us all. What do you need us to do? Krin's form expanded, connecting to the station's systems as Maya felt the familiar sensation of consciousness expanding beyond normal spacetime. Focus your thoughts on the most unpredictable, chaotic memories you have. Let your minds create patterns that defy logic. Together, we will show the Void Seekers why forcing chaos never works. As the first dimensional breach began to form, human and alien consciousness intertwined, preparing to defend not just their lives, but the future of both their species. The true test of their partnership was about to begin. Reality twisted around the station as the Void Seekers began their emergence. Through her enhanced perception, Maya saw them as they truly were, vast geometric shapes that violated the normal rules of spacetime, their forms so perfect they hurt to look at. Unlike Kryn's fluid, adaptive presence, these beings radiated rigid, uncompromising order. The neural link hummed with the combined consciousness of the human volunteers. Admiral Reyes's military discipline provided structure, while Dr. Volkov's scientific curiosity added layers of questioning complexity. Lieutenant Chen's analytical mind contributed precise, unexpected variations to their shared mental pattern. They're attempting to establish a dimensional anchor, Kryn's thoughts resonated through their linked consciousness. Once they have a stable connection, they will begin harvesting. Maya watched in horror as the first Void Seeker extended crystalline appendages toward the station. Where they touched the hull, matter began to transform into perfect geometric patterns, dead and lifeless in their perfection. Focus your thoughts, Kryn guided them. Human minds excel at creating noise, disruption, beautiful imperfection. Let your thoughts wander to impossible things. Maya thought of ocean waves never falling the same way twice, of children's laughter following no pattern, of dreams that defied logic. Around her, she felt the others contributing their own chaos, Reyes remembering battlefield decisions that went against all training but somehow worked, Volkov contemplating quantum uncertainties, Chen recalling coding solutions that shouldn't have functioned but did. The station's crystal matrix amplified their combined consciousness, creating waves of pure chaos that rippled through spacetime. The Void Seekers recoiled, their perfect forms distorting as they encountered patterns they couldn't predict or control. But something else was happening, something unexpected. As their minds merged more deeply, Maya began to access memories that weren't her own, not just from her human colleagues, but from Kryn's vast consciousness. She saw the true history of the luminous collective, and with it, a devastating revelation. Kryn, she projected through their link, you didn't tell us everything. The being's consciousness flickered with what might have been guilt. There wasn't time. The Void Seekers aren't just a radical faction, Maya continued, the truth unfolding in her mind. They're what your species naturally becomes. Perfect crystalline order is your final evolutionary stage. You're fighting your own destiny. Admiral Reyes's thoughts sparked with alarm. Explain. Now. Through their link, Kryn shared the full truth. The luminous collective had discovered that their species evolved toward perfect order, each generation becoming more logical, more patterned, until they transformed into beings of pure mathematics, the Void Seekers. Kryn and a small group had recognized this as extinction through perfection and had sought a way to introduce chaos back into their species. The original crew, Maya realized, they weren't just helping you study humanity. You were using their consciousness patterns to prevent your own transformation. Yes, Kryn admitted. But in doing so, we discovered something extraordinary. The fusion of human chaos and our order creates something entirely new, a state of existence that is neither perfect nor random, but endlessly evolving. The Void Seekers pressed their attack, their perfect geometries trying to impose order on the station's chaotic defenses. Maya felt the strain in the neural link as human and hybrid minds fought against the pressure of pure logic trying to reshape their thoughts. Admiral, Lieutenant Chen's thoughts cut through the mental noise, the station's power grid is destabilizing. We can't maintain this level of defense. Through the link, Maya sensed Kryn's desperate gamble. There is a way, the being proposed, but it requires a step that cannot be undone. The original crew discovered it theoretically, but never implemented it. What kind of step? Reyes demanded, even as her mental defenses helped deflect another Void Seeker attack. A permanent fusion of human and luminous consciousness, using the station's crystal matrix as a catalyst. Not just a temporary link, but a true hybrid state. The chaos of humanity combined with our understanding of reality's fundamental forces. Dr. Volkov's scientific mind raced through the implications. You're talking about the next step in evolution, for both species. We would become something new, Kryn confirmed. Neither human nor luminous, but a bridge between chaos and order. The perfect defense against the void seekers, because we would represent what they cannot comprehend, controlled chaos, ordered randomness. Maya felt the weight of the choice before them. The station shuddered as another section of hull began to crystallize under the void seekers' assault. Through the neural link, she could sense the others grappling with the decision. How long do we have to decide? Reyes asked, her thoughts tight with tension. A massive crack appeared in the observation deck's window, perfect geometric patterns spreading like deadly frost. Minutes, Kryn answered. Perhaps less. Maya looked at her team, at the Earth ships holding position beyond the station, at the advancing wall of perfect, deadly order. 20 years of solitude had led to this moment, a choice between remaining purely human, or becoming something the universe had never seen before. Whatever we decide, she projected to the others, we decide together. For both our species' future. The void seekers pressed closer, their presence an overwhelming pressure of perfect, destructive order. Time was running out, and with it, the chance to save two civilizations from very different kinds of extinction. The decision crystallized in Maya's mind with sudden clarity. Through the neural link, she felt the others reaching the same conclusion, not through logical analysis, but through that uniquely human ability to leap into the unknown. We do it, she projected, her consciousness resonating through the link. But not just us. Kryn, can you broadcast what's happening to the Earth ships? Their crews deserve to know and choose. Kryn's form pulsed with approval, and suddenly the neural link expanded. The crews of the nearby vessels received not just information, but experience, a taste of what the fusion of human and luminous consciousness could become. Maya felt their shock, their wonder, and then their decisions flowing back through the link. Fascinating, Dr. Volkov's thoughts sparkled with scientific excitement. They're not all choosing to join, but those who do, their patterns are already beginning to create new configurations. The void seekers sensed the change. Their perfect geometries twisted in what might have been confusion as hundreds of human minds joined the network, each bringing their own unique chaos to the pattern. The station's crystal matrix hummed with growing power. Now, Kryn, Admiral Reyes commanded, her military precision helping to direct the surge of new consciousness. Show us what to do. Through their combined awareness, Kryn guided them to the next step. The crystal matrix began to resonate at new frequencies, harmonizing with both human brainwaves and luminous energy patterns. Maya felt her consciousness expanding beyond the boundaries of normal spacetime, merging with something vast and unprecedented. The transformation began at the quantum level. Human neural patterns intertwined with luminous energy structures, creating hybrid configurations that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Maya experienced her thoughts becoming visible as patterns of light, while Kryn's perfect geometries gained the warm complexity of organic randomness. The void seekers reacted with what could only be described as horror. Their perfect forms recoiled from the hybrid patterns being generated by the station and its crew. But instead of retreating, they launched a final, desperate attack. They're trying to force total crystallization, Kryn warned. They would rather destroy us all than allow this evolution. Maya felt the pressure of perfect order trying to impose itself on their minds. But where before it had been nearly overwhelming, now it felt incomplete. Through her new hybrid consciousness, she could see the flaw in perfect order, its inability to adapt, to grow, to surprise itself. Everyone, she projected through the expanded link, don't fight the patterns, remix them. Show them what chaos can do with order. Understanding flowed through the network. Hundreds of human minds began taking the void seekers' perfect geometries and introducing variations, subtle at first, then with growing confidence. Military officers applied tactical unpredictability to mathematical constants. Scientists introduced quantum uncertainties into crystalline structures. Engineers added recursive loops that spawned endless variations. The void seekers' attack faltered as their perfect patterns began to transform, infected by creative chaos. Some tried to retreat, but the hybrid consciousness now filling local spacetime affected them anyway. Maya watched in awe as the beings of pure order began to change, their rigid forms gaining subtle variations, their perfect mathematics opening to new possibilities. "They're not being destroyed," Dr. Volkov observed. "They're evolving." Krin's consciousness radiated joy. "This is what we sought for so long, not the preservation of our original form, but transcendence through unity. Look!" The station had become a nexus of transformation. The crystal matrix now extended through multiple dimensions, its patterns a beautiful blend of mathematical precision and organic creativity. Human minds moved through it like fish through water, their consciousness expanded but not lost. Luminous beings flowed through the same space, their order now flexible, adaptive, alive with new potential. Admiral Reyes, her consciousness still maintaining its essential military structure while exploring new dimensions, addressed the hybrid community. "What do we tell Earth? What do we even call ourselves now?" Maya felt Krin's response resonate through their shared awareness: "We are the bridge. Not an end to either of our species, but a new beginning. A way to explore realities that neither chaos nor order could reach alone." Through the hybrid consciousness, Maya could see the future unfolding with new clarity. Earth would need time to adapt to the existence of the bridge. Some humans would choose to remain purely human, while others would join the hybrid consciousness. The void seekers, transformed by the introduction of chaos, would become explorers of new mathematical frontiers rather than enforcers of sterile perfection. 20 years of solitude, Maya mused, her thoughts carrying to all connected minds. 20 years Krin spent learning about humanity, preparing for this moment. And now, Krin completed her thought, we have infinity to explore together. The station hung in space, its crystal matrix gleaming with hybrid light, not a prison of perfect order or a chaos of random chance, but a living bridge between extremes. Inside, human and luminous consciousness danced together, creating patterns that had never existed before, discovering truths that neither species could have found alone. Maya felt her hybrid awareness extending outward, touching the mysteries of the universe with both mathematical precision and boundless creativity. The journey of discovery was just beginning, and it would never end. In the space between order and chaos, between solitude and unity, they had found something greater than survival, they had found evolution itself.